That's a clam call?
I don't think they make any noise, to be honest with you. But if you want to know what a clam sounds like, I think it's because they squirt the sand.
How would you write that out, like, on paper?
It starts with a Q. Don't you think it's a Q? I feel like it's a Q.
It's not a hard C?
I'm not an English teacher. We are only 20 minutes away from the Washington coastline for one of the last days of the Razor Clam dig. So these clams are a Razor Clam, and they got a little tongue-looking thing that sticks out that shoots the water and the sand out. They dig real fast. I've only done this one time, so I have really no clue what I'm doing. I have like a $15 PVC pipe clam gun is what it's called. So let's see if we can get some, because last time we ate them, they were pretty good. You know, you think of the normal little circular clams that have a pearl in it or something like that. They don't look like that at all. They're like long and skinny with like a tongue thing hanging out of them. Huh. Well, so let's go see. So the limit's 15.
Well, let's go get some bucking clams.
Let's go get some bucking clams, and I'll be happy as a clam. Woo! Tally ho! So this is all we need: little net to hold our clams, a clam gun of any kind. This is a cheaply made PVC pipe one, and then some boots if you want to stay dry. So I'm gonna suit up and let's roll. The Washington coastline has miles of opportunity for razor clamming, but when the digs are open, you're gonna share them with thousands of your closest clamming friends. So if you find one, you twist all the way down as deep as you can, and then you cover your thumb over top of this little suction hole and pull it all the way out. Release your thumb, and the sand and the clam should drop out of there with your clam inside. The problem was, the first little while we were out there, we weren't having any luck. The tide was coming in, and hole after hole that we dug came up empty.
Come on.
Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money. No?
Nothing but a pile of dirt.
So just ran into John Martinez from John Sporting Goods out here. He said it's been pretty tough so far. You got to really pound on the sand. And when we're pounding on the sand, what are we looking for exactly?
Well, when you're pounding on the sand, the clam gets anxious and he goes down a little bit, and it forms a little dimple in the sand. And then you get your clam gun right over that dimple, slightly tilted towards the ocean, the length of the clam gun, and then just suck him out of there.
Monster.
Hey, that's a good one.
Look at that guy.
Whee!
Nice eyes, stalker.
Whee!
Nice eyes. After getting the advice from John, we decided to follow him and his wife around for a little while, pounding on the sand, and our luck started to change. Decent one.
There you go. You see how that works?
Yep. Okay. Too bad. I like it.
See, that's how far they are down in the hole from the whole length of this. That's how far he was. So he was in there from here to here.
Is there really a difference between a clam gun like this and this? I know this one's super cheap and could break and things like that, but as far as catching them, what's really the difference?
These SMI stainless steel tubes are the best, and this is what's called a relief tube right here. Makes pulling it out of the sand a lot easier. This has a blunt edge on it, and this has a sharp edge on it. Makes it so much easier to get the clams.
Our clam nets were full, we counted up our clams, and after a long day and the tide starting to come back in, we headed back in to get ready to cook. So today was a little bit of a tough one, but right before it closed, we got the limit, 15 razor clams out here on the Washington coast. It was a little different than the first time I did it last year, or I mean last month, was you could see them showing. There's a little bubble and I got them really easy, but today was different. So tell me what was different that you saw to get them. It was tough.
What's different today, Sean, is that the wind's blowing a little bit and the surf is pounding on the beach. And anytime the surf is pounding on the beach, it disturbs the clams a little bit, so they'll be a little bit deeper. As you noticed today in that one shot, we were getting the clams all the way down on the end of the clam gun, which means they're further down into the sand than they normally are. If you come here in a day when it's not blowing, there's not as much surf, they'll be at the surface and you'll see that classic little dimple. But a lot of people get fooled who are inexperienced at clamming. They'll come here and they won't do very good. You notice we had to pound on the sand with our clam guns, and what it did, it kind of lightened him up, and he wanted to go down to escape whatever was on the surface, and that formed that classic little dimple on top of the sand. But we had to cause that. He wasn't doing it on his own.
You know what? We got to go home, do some cleaning, some cooking, and taste these tasty guys. Let's go. All right, now we got the clams home. We're ready to remove them from their shell. What we do is we boil water just until it's to the point of boiling. We put the clams in a strainer here, and we're just gonna pour the boiling water over top of them. This will quickly just release them from their shell, and then we're gonna immediately put the clams removed from their shell into some cold water because we don't want the clams to cook. So we'll pour the boiling water and remove them from their shells now. As you can see, they just start to open up and pull right away from their shell and put them in the cold waters. Now, the fun part of cleaning them. I've only done this a couple times, so I really don't know that well what I'm doing. If you have a better recommendation, make a comment and let me know. But we just have a pair of kitchen shears here, and we're gonna open them up and clean out the inside. So I use the kitchen shears and start to open them up. You kind of butterfly them out a little bit. I actually go and cut all the way up the neck on these and open those up. And I even cut the little tip off here, and I just clean out the middle of the inside. And you can save the guts and the stuff inside because it makes for really good crab bait. So now I've got all of the insides and stuff out. I kind of cut this one into 2 pieces. And this is clean. We can cut these into strips or chunks for clam chowder or fried clam strips, whatever you want. So I've cut them into strips because it makes them a little easier for breading and frying. We're gonna use flour, a little egg wash, and end it with breadcrumbs and a little bit of my special spice. And we're gonna fry them up in some avocado oil. Put the strip in some flour, a little bit of an egg wash, breadcrumbs, toss it into the fryer. So got them browned on each side there. Just take them out and they're ready to go. All right, let them cool off for just a minute. Fresh Washington Coast razor clams. I'm happy as a clam. Thanks for watching Bucking Outdoors. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see our latest videos as they come out. Follow us on Instagram at Bucking Outdoors and like us on Facebook to follow all the Bucking Outdoors adventures.